everyone, Leonard here. We're at the Single Carrot Theater, and we're here to see a play called The Death of Walt Disney. So I heard about this play, it's been a while, maybe like 4 years ago. I think they ran it in New York, and it seemed really interesting. Some people asked me about it, just never got a chance to see it. But now Single Carrot's doing it in Baltimore, so of course I had to get tickets and come out and check it out and see how dark side it was.
How many, sir?
So here's a brief review of the play. From the second you walk in, they had quotes from Walt Disney, or about Walt Disney, about how awesome he was, how much of a genius he was, and a little guest book that you could sign saying how Walt had affected you. And then they led you into the theater in this kind of dark hallway with these icicle lights, and then you actually stood in a queue just like you would at a theme park, and then Walt Disney himself came and brought you to your seats. So it was little touches like that, and they had cast member only signs everywhere. Little touches like that that really elevated the play into something bigger and more of like performance art. That said, the acting was incredible. It's a challenging script. All of the actors did a wonderful job. Just top-notch talent here. It's pretty incredible. So I enjoyed the script. I found it entertaining, and I did not find it particularly morally compelling. I know it was supposed to be making a point about power-hungry individuals and about how people's public personas are not the same as their private personas, but to have to use falsehoods and semi-truths to make that point seems disingenuous and seems to actually kind of go against the point they're trying to make, because the playwright is essentially tearing down Walt Disney for his own purposes, which is kind of a asshole, power-hungry dick thing to do. So that said, I don't think Walt comes off too badly in the play. I mean, he just comes off as kind of a jerk, and he definitely has a temper. I think the things that bothered me the most were his relationship with Diane, who is only referred to as daughter in the play, because they had a good relationship, and it's portrayed here as very very poor. And his relationship with Roy, while some of that stuff was true, and Walt probably did use his brother as a scapegoat, they actually had a very good relationship. And what particularly bothered me was Walt's death scene, where Roy is shown as being kind of happy about Walt dying, where in reality, anyone who studied Disney's death knows that Walt was laying in bed, looking up at the ceiling, kind of planning Epcot Center out on the tiles on the ceiling, while Roy was sitting right there with him, rubbing his feet as he died. And, not only that, but Roy came out of retirement to make sure that Walt Disney World was completed, or that Magic Kingdom at least was completed, and Epcot was going on track, and came out of retirement, went to the grand opening ceremony of Magic Kingdom, and then 3 months later died. So he literally worked himself to death to make sure that that part of his brother's legacy would get completed. Not really something that someone who hates his brother would do. So I found that a little bothersome. Again, that's the script, the play itself, the set design, the acting, everything, the theater itself, everything that went into that on a production level was spectacular. Highly recommend going to see it. Just know that the script is a little bit problematic.